We're like 2 weeks away from Cowboys season. So today, I prepared for you 5 blazing, kind of outrageous, but not too outrageous, but very bold predictions for the Cowboys in 2020. Now remember, little disclaimer here, these are bold predictions, some of them more bolder than others, but let's just not get carried away and go crazy here, okay? We're going bold here, baby. Going big. Shout out to betonline.ag. betonline.ag. After watching this video, you might want to go to betonline.ag and place a little bit of a wager on Aldon Smith for Comeback Player of the Year. Bold predictions, baby. I don't know why I keep saying baby. Like Dick Vitale or something. It's awesome, baby. Here's 5 bold predictions for you on the Cowboys in 2020, baby. Number 1. CeeDee Lamb's first NFL touchdown will not be a reception, either a punt return or a handoff. But CeeDee Lamb's first touchdown in 2020 will not be through the air. Cowboys have a lot of mouths to feed on offense. CeeDee Lamb's going to get a ton of run in a bunch of different spots. They're going to be using him in a bunch of different ways. I can't wait to see it. Which leads me to number 2. Blake Jarwin is going to lead the Cowboys in touchdown receptions. Blake Jarwin? The tight end? Yes. As I just mentioned, a lot of mouths to feed on offense. But Blake Jarwin is going to get a lot of fortuitous matchups on the inside when they're in the red zone. I think the Cowboys are going to target Jarwin a ton in the red zone because he's going to get great matchups that is going to be easy money for Dak and Blake Jarwin. Think about it. You got Amari on the outside. You got Gallup on the outside. You got CeeDee Lamb on the inside in the slot. Toughest matchup for a defense is going to be what are you supposed to do against Blake Jarwin in the red zone? I think the Cowboys are going to feast on whatever linebacker, whatever poor sucker that they put on Blake Jarwin. Jarwin may not lead the team in yards or receptions, but he will lead the Cowboys in 2020 in touchdown catches. Book it. Number 3, and by the way, these are going to get bolder and bolder as we get further into this list. The Cowboys' special teams unit will be number 1 in the NFL in 2020. After being dead last in 2019, or dead 31st, I don't know what they were. They were bad. They were horrible. They were awful. And obviously having a new coaching staff makes a difference. Greg Zuerlein has been really good in practice and training camp, which doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. But we have heard that Zuerlein was dealing with an injury last year, which probably indicates maybe why he was so inconsistent last year. And he played through it despite that. But I think their field goal kicking will be on par. And by the way, I don't think they're going to kick that many field goals in 2020. But they have CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs and Reggie Robinson all capable of being returners. I think elite level returners. I think they're going to return some punts and kicks for touchdowns this year. And I just think a greater focus on that side of the football, which was so bad last year, or a renewed focus there with the Cowboys as the number 1 special teams unit in the National Football League in 2020. Bold prediction number 4. Cowboys will be led in sacks in 2020 by Aldon Smith. Maybe I'm just buying into the training camp hype. Maybe. Or maybe you can read the tea leaves a little bit and think the Cowboys are going to be very, very multiple in what they do with their defensive front. And they could, at times, use Everson Griffin and DeMarcus Lawrence and Aldon Smith on the field at the same time. Look, we can say DeMarcus Lawrence. We could say Everson Griffin's going to lead this team in sacks. That's just too easy. Aldon Smith has a ton to prove, obviously, is having an unbelievable camp. And that's not just from, you hear it from the Cowboys organization. You hear it from writers and observers of training camp throughout this process. Aldon Smith has great athleticism, great speed, great strength. It's what led him to be the sack-destroying monster that he was his first 4 or 5 years in the league. Granted, it's been a long time since we've seen him play, but it's a bold-ass prediction. Aldon Smith leading the Cowboys in sacks this year. And finally, number 5. You ready? This is 10? I did 10. And finally, number 5. The Cowboys are going to sign Earl Thomas. So here's the deal. The Cowboys do not like what they have at safety. If you've noticed, based on the coverage of training camp, they've got a lot of guys cycling in at safety. We've heard that Darian Thompson is starting over Clinton-Dix. We've heard that Daryl Worley and Reggie Robinson are both working in at safety. We heard at the beginning of the offseason that Cheeto Awuzie might work in at safety. We haven't seen that yet, so they don't really want to compromise the lack of depth at corner to move to safety. So they're working Daryl Worley and Reggie Robinson in at safety. They don't like what they have at safety. I also don't think anybody's in a hurry to sign Earl Thomas, and I think that's the biggest factor here. Stephen Jones, the Cowboys, are going to let the market come to them. And then when Earl Thomas comes to his senses and realizes that he's not going to be able to sign anywhere else, he's got to take a one-year deal, like $5 million, he's going to do it. And the Cowboys are going to be right there like, come on, yeah, take it, yeah, perfect. Because 2 years ago, they wanted 2 first-round picks and, a ton of cash that the Baltimore Ravens are now eating. And now just come on here, come on. The longer Earl Thomas remains unsigned, the more likely the Cowboys are to signing him. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and that is, what about this locker room stuff and getting into fights with teammates and flicking off his coach, and why are you the fun police, okay? Enough. Stop bringing up legitimate points that are really important here in this discussion. We're trying to have fun here and create some sort of an all-star team on defense. A little bit. Not really, but kind of. Here's what I'll say to you and to the Cowboys. If the Cowboys really want to sign Earl Thomas, and it's a bold prediction, but again, I do think the Cowboys will sign Earl Thomas the longer he remains in the open market. It's a simple phone call and simple conversation. Hey, Earl, what would happen in Baltimore? And if you talk to a guy that's complicit, that's willing to admit responsibility, you've got a guy that is willing to change. And if you don't, you got a guy that blames other people and it's victim of circumstance. Click. Thanks again to betonline.ag for sponsoring today's video. Go ahead to betonline.ag and place a little wager on Aldon Smith to win Comeback Player of the Year because you're getting buku bucks on those odds. And if he leads the Cowboys in sacks, you better believe he's going to be Comeback Player of the Year in the NFL.